The Cardinals lineup: Matt Carpenter, Dexter Fowler, Steven Piscotty, then Jed Jerko, Yadier Molina, Tommy Pham, Greg Garcia, he's at second base tonight, Paul DeJong at short, and Michael Wacha will bat ninth. So Ledmus Diaz tonight comes off the bench. Nick Pivetta is a 6'5", 220-pound right-hander. We saw him make a start against the Cardinals in their lone trip through St. Louis. And there's a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal. A lot of fastballs from Pivetta.
And he has a very good fastball. His last time out was the best start he's ever made. He was against Boston, and he touched 95 or higher on 25 times. He had threw 74 total fastballs in that game. 7 scoreless innings, 9 strikeouts against Chris Sale and the White Sox. He had a lot of fine defensive plays behind him, but he kind of made a statement that he was just going to go out there and just try to pitch with the fastball and kind of not worry about things. They say he's 24 years of age, kind of let too many things enter his mind, just relax and go with the fastball.
Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Perkins, Herrera, Altera in the outfield. Franco, Galvis, Kendrick, and Joseph on the infield. Andrew Knapp, his second start in this series behind the plate. Trip Gibson calling the balls and strikes. Nick Lentz is at first. Dan Iasonia at second. He's the crew chief. Chad Fairchild is at third base. Our umpires for tonight's contest. First pitch to Matt Carpenter, a fastball taken low, and we're underway here in game 2.
Matt had to wait to his last plate appearance to get a base hit, but he was on base all day with 3 walks and 1 for 3.
And he's now up to 48 walks this year, and that's first in the National League. Batting .247, 13 home runs. He's driven in 39. There's no doubting the difference it has made in his game personally, moving to the leadoff spot, and the Cardinals overall averaging 6 runs a game since he moved to that spot. And a fly ball lifted down the left field line, and the catch is made by Cam Perkins, making his first ever start in the big leagues.
Like I said, Perkins is going to get some playing time. Trying pinch hit last night for his major league debut.
Cam Perkins said he's 8 years younger than Yadier Molina, and when he stepped to the plate, Molina said, "Hey, congratulations. You're in the big leagues. Nicely done." And he said, "Thank you very much, sir." Called him sir, and he said, "Wait a minute, what am I doing?"
Well, Yadi actually stepped out in front, let him receive an ovation. And then when he made an out, then he heard the Philly boos.
Welcome to Philly.
Welcome to Philly.
Here's Dexter Fowler. So the move has not only benefited Carpenter, but Fowler dropping down to number 2. His last 9 games, 5 home runs, and he's driven in 14. And the 1-1. Isn't it something here with the Phillies? They've dropped 12 of 13, and yet baseball's such a funny game. The one win that they do get against Chris Sale of all pitchers.
Yeah, and it was a 1-0 game if I remember right.
And a strikeout of Fowler. So the first 2 have been retired here in the top of the first.
Breaking ball right there fools him a little bit. First strikeout for Pivetta. This time when Pete McKinnon, the manager of Philadelphia, I said another close ball game. He said, "Yeah, we just cannot get that good hit, you know, at the most opportune time. We're just not doing it with scoring position." But he also said, "Look at your guys are struggling with average, but their on-base percentage is so high."
I'm sure Pete too would be honest and say that his bullpen has not been to the level that it needs to be in dropping 12 of the 13. The bullpen ERA is near 7.
Well, just think about it last night. You know, they got rid of what was their closer at the start of the season and their 5th place hitter and swallowed $13.2 million.
Here's a ground ball backhanded by Freddie Galvis, and the Cardinals go quietly here in the top of the first. Michael Wacha to the mound when we come back, and there's no score. and Aaron Altair. Then Tommy Joseph, Mike Franco, Odubel Herrera, Freddie Galvis, Andrew Knapp, and Nick Pivetta, the pitcher. Hyundai pitch arsenal here with Michael Wacha. 13th start of the year, number 95 of his career.
I'm interested to see if maybe that percentage of changeups increases a little bit tonight.
Mentioned this in the open, but the Cardinals have adjusted his bullpen session this last time out through fewer pitches to get what was described as a better feel for those pitches. So if he had a good feel with a fastball, they stopped there, went to the changeup, so on and so forth.
And sometimes you can go down there and just throw, and you're, after a period of time, you get a little tired, and then your muscle memory is in the wrong direction. It's not stopping when it's good. Wacha has been good the first couple innings, and then after that he has trouble.
Here's a 1-1. Cam Perkins, being promoted yesterday, was third in the International League in on-base percentage, third in doubles, seventh in OPS, and 10th in average at .298. Good changeup and a strikeout for Michael Wacha.
To me, Dan, that's the pitch I want to see. Of course, he did have a very good breaking ball right before it, but he's 6'6". He throws high in the zone, and then the ball just comes down. When he's got the ball down around the knees, he's extremely effective. But I think because of his shoulder problems, you've seen as the game goes along, the ball gets up.
Here's Howie Kendrick looking at strike one. He's 7 for his last 14. Good numbers too against Michael Wacha in his career. 6 for 10. And a bouncer right side and a base hit. Cardinals defense around the horn presented by Dobbs Tires and Tire and Auto Centers. Pham, Fowler, and Piscotty in the outfield. Jerko, DeYoung, Garcia, and Carpenter on the infield. And Yadier Molina is behind the plate. So Paul DeYoung getting the start at short tonight. Aaron Altair, the right fielder of the Phillies, leads her club in homers with 12, RBIs 37, and total bases. Numbers have not been pretty for Michael Wacha in his last 5 starts. He's got 1 win. Cardinals have dropped 4 of those starts, and Wacha's ERA is near 9. Now he did beat the Phillies in that stretch. DeYoung diving for it, can't come up with it. It's into center field. Kendrick stopping at second base. Back-to-back singles.
Ground balls, both of the base hits have been on the ground, finding a hole. Hole hit sharply, but if this one is hit more towards DeYoung, he got a double play ball. So he's looking for a ground ball, just finds a hole.
Runners at first and second. Now Tommy Joseph saw his 14-game hitting streak come to a close in game 1. Breaking ball and ball 1. In that start against the Phillies, 2 runs in 6 innings and a 3-2 win for Michael Wacha. And here's what you're talking about, second and third time through the lineup.
Another way to illustrate that is he's got a 2.25 ERA in the first 2 innings of his starts this season, but it jumps up to 7.65 ERA afterwards. And not going deep into games. Started out the season very, very well.
2-0 is pulled foul. His first 7 starts win at least 6 innings. All of those were quality starts. Only 1 of his last 5 have lasted 6 innings for Wacha. So really trying to change things up here tonight.
And you have to admit that spent the winter trying to strengthen those muscles in the back of the shoulder blade. Where the 2 of the last 3 years he's had his season interrupted with that stress reaction, to the shoulder, which is a precursor to stress fracture.
And 3-1.
You won't find a better young man. And Michael Wacha is credit to the game. Mike Matheny and Derek Lilliquist, all of his teammates want to be very supportive of him.
Double play ball. Botched though by Garcia, and safe at second. Bases are loaded. Third error on Greg Garcia this year. Cardinals will take a look at it just to make sure that the runner was indeed safe at second base.
It looked to the naked eye that he was safe. I wonder if Garcia was screened a little bit by that umpire, but as you said, that looked closer. That looked kind of when did it hit the back of the glove.
And the Cardinals do not challenge, so this could be a costly error. I could see if Mike Matheny thought it was 50-50, he would challenge because of what's been happening with Wacha, even though it's the first inning, but a chance to get that second out, roll the dice and see if he can't get out of the jam.
And you know, when you're struggling, you need support behind you. That is the first error the Cardinals have made in the last 10, or they had 10 errorless games up to this point in a row.
Maikel Franco. Franco hitting 162 at home and 224 overall this season. And a ground ball. Jerko to second. And a run does score.
Wasn't really a double play ball with the bases loaded. You know, Hendrick was running, and I don't think you had a sure out at home plate, so we took an out at second base, but could only get one. The ball not hit hard enough, so we do have the double play in order by getting the runner at second, but runners at the corners.
Odubel Herrera dropping down in the lineup. He's been their primary leadoff man. And so 2 outs, runners at first and third.
Well, with all the doubles he's hitting, you know, maybe that's where they move him down to be more in an RBI slot.
And that's driven in the gap in right center field. All the way to the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes another. Herrera stopping at second base, and it's 3-0 Phillies.
You said those doubles that Herrera's hitting have been not getting that timely hitting with runners in scoring position. Well, change him, drop him down in an RBI position, and he comes through. Leads the major leagues in doubles. That's his 24th of the year.
Here's Freddie Galvis, and a pitch taken inside. Well, Wacha should be out of the inning, and instead it's a 3-0 Phillies lead after the error by Greg Garcia. And a fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike.
See, the velocity's good.
Fly ball lifted out to left. Pham came in, now going back and makes the catch. So the air by Garcia that loaded him up. Franco the RBI. Herrera drives in 2. Here's Jed Jerko, a home run last night. He now has 10. And since last year's All-Star break, 33. And the 0-1.
Remember last year, second half, he had the second most home runs in all of baseball. So he's way up on his pace from a year ago.
And a fastball misses inside. It's Star Wars night. I'm sure Jed loves to see that. Memory serves correct. Star Wars nights, the various ballparks, certainly in St. Louis, has not been kind to the Cardinals.
With your steel trap memory,
Just saying.
I'm not going to argue with your
injuries, bad games. There's a fly ball into shallow right, and this ball drops for Jerko. Leadoff base hit, first Cardinal hit of the night.
You've seen a lot of clubs pitch him away, and there you can see way off balance right off the end of the bat, so it wasn't going to carry. It takes a lot of fastballs that are up and take it to the opposite field. Not by Yachty. 3 games in a row with a home run.
And overall, an 8-game hitting streak coming into play tonight. Menacing look for Yadier Molina. Outfield is straight away, and the 1-0 pitch. Hit out of play, so 3 consecutive home runs in terms of games played for Yadier Molina. Couple over the weekend, games 2 and 3, and then again last night late.
2-run shot there in the 11th inning when the Cardinals scored 7 runs to take a 1-1 game to a 8-1 victory.
And a swing and a miss. Yachty now up to 9 home runs this year, and he's driven in 27. The check swing, and he went. Strikeout of Molina. Strikeout number 2.
You look at that side shot, it's always going to show that it looked like you come across the plate and think the right call was made.
Here's Tommy Pham. Home run that got out of here in a hurry last night. Fastball at 95 and strike 1.
Talked to Tommy a little bit about that play that in left field early in the ball game, and he said, yeah, the line drive did go into the lights, and he realized afterwards that, you know, I could have caught that ball standing up. He talked a little bit about his hitting. He said, I'm going to continue to work hard just to hit line drives. And if I hit my line drives, they'll carry out like we've seen recently.
The Emperor. You a Star Wars guy, Al?
Oh, yeah.
Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball taken high. I mean, this home run got out in a hurry. This is a line drive that turns out to be a home run. 110 miles an hour off the bat. And a strikeout of Tommy Pham. 3rd strikeout for Nick Pivetta.
Pivetta was a 4th-round draft pick for Washington Nationals, then acquired in the Papelbon trade. That's how he got here to Philadelphia. Just 24 years of age. He's from Canada, British Columbia.
Beautiful country, British Columbia. 2 outs and a runner at first. And a high strike to Greg Garcia. 0 for his last 9. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Curveball, and it's 0-2. And Pivetta looks sharp here early on.
He sure does. Jake coming off his best pitch game. And like you said, he beats Chris Sale 1-0 in the Red Sox, and that's the only win they've had in what, the last 12 games?
13.
13. They lost 12 of 13.
Here's an 0-2 pitch. Fastball outside. Throwing harder tonight than I remember in that start a couple of weeks ago against the Cardinals. He's hit 97 on the gun a couple of times.
They say he's got that kind of arm. You know, he's a big kid.
Two and two.
And he's mixed in a breaking ball. It's been very effective.
Charlie Manuel's at the ballpark again, checking out batting practice. The all-time winningest manager in Phillies history.
Yeah, I did get down and talk to Charlie a little bit.
Garcia lines it to left and right at Cam Perkins. Cardinals strand a runner. We're midway through 2, and it's 3-0 Phils. And with Jim Hayes.
Yeah, you guys were talking about Michael Wacha, and there's no question this is a big start for Wacha. Mike Matheny said this week they were considering the option of putting Michael Wacha into the bullpen, and you guys were talking about the changes they made in his work in between starts. Mike told me the reason they've been backing up the intensity and duration of his bullpens is to keep Michael as strong as possible for as long as possible. Mike said, we've been seeing some pretty good velocity from Michael. It's just we want to see it continue into the deeper innings. And Mike said everything looks fine in terms of Michael's health. It's really about execution, and they're hoping tonight he can get himself back on track.
Also, he lost a friendly wager to Chad Huffman and also Matt Carpenter. Michael pitched at Texas A&M. Huffman and Carpenter played at TCU, and Tuesday the Aggies lost to the Horned Frogs in the College World Series.
They were watching that in the dugout very closely. The wager has to do with how they dress. So I haven't seen it today, but I assume at some point Michael Wacha will be wearing something fairly embarrassing.
And I'm sure a lot of purple with that as well.
Absolutely.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. The 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Strikeout of Andrew Knapp.
Maybe Dino the Dinosaur. Dino was purple.
Is it the Rockies?
Well, it used to be a kid's show. But it was, and it probably came on when you were a kid, too.
Huh. Must have missed it. And a strike to Nick Pivetta. What's the Rockies mascot?
Dinger.
Dinger, that's it.
But he's purple also. So that's, I knew where you were going.
1 ball and 1 strike on Nick Pivetta. Well, if he just joined us, 3 first-inning runs allowed by Wacha, but should have been out of the inning. Ground ball that was hard hit to Garcia. Could have been a double play. Wasn't turned. And it turned into a 3-run first inning for the Phils. Little chopper hit up the middle. Garcia. Wide throw. The stretch by Carpenter. Hey, Cardinal fans, StubHub is your ticket out to once-in-a-lifetime experiences, from Cardinal games to amazing concerts to shows you just don't want to miss. StubHub connects you with the world of live. StubHub, your ticket out. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of your St. Louis Cardinals. And with 2 outs, the batter will be Cam Perkins. He struck out his first time up.
2016, he hit 292 at AAA. This year, he hit 298 before being called up.
There's Charlie. Yep, Charlie Manuel.
He's doing a little bit of everything for the Phils. He mentioned to me he's going to go down to the Gulf Coast League and do a little scouting down there. Just a great baseball man. And I was talking to Tommy Pham about him, and he said Victorino lives in Las Vegas, and told him a lot of great things about, because I asked him, you know who Charlie Manuel is? Knew exactly who he was, and said that Victorino would tell him of how much he knows about hitting, and a great hitting instructor prior to becoming a manager. He also would like to get back on the field. He's 73 years of age now and says he really misses it.
Here's a 1-2. Hit up the middle. Garcia to his right. And it's the first base hit in the career of Cam Perkins in the big leagues. Were you thinking of Dino from the Flintstones?
Well, I thought that was Dino too, but I think Ted Koppler used to have on Channel 11. It had Dino the dinosaur. I don't remember.
I was thinking Barney. Could always go with Barney too.
Sure. Is he purple?
I believe so.
It's way beyond me, these characters.
Howie Kendrick, a base hit to right, first time up, looks at a fastball. Charlie Manuel and the Phillies, it would just seem like he was not the right fit for this town.
You would think that.
But he was perfect.
West Virginia. He's a very humorous individual, but he won them over, didn't he?
Sure did. Winning has a way of doing that.
Yeah.
And he won 5 straight division titles, went to a couple of World Series, won one against Tampa Bay, lost the other against the Yankees.
I think he just had a downright home, just, you know, honesty. Wasn't going to sugarcoat things, and I think eventually they really learned to appreciate that.
Kendrick puts it in the air, right side. Carpenter giving chase, and a souvenir. Howie Kendrick, this would be his 20th game off the DL, and he's hitting .342 since he's come off the disabled list. He is 3 home runs shy of 100 in his career over the weekend. Career hit number 1,500.
And he's 7 for 11 off of Waka. Good professional hitter. He had 3 hits last night.
Trying to jam him, hit out of play.
Prior to the trade to here to Philly, he played his entire major league career with the Angels and Dodgers.
I'm assuming he'll be with another team at the end of this season too.
I would assume at the trade deadline. Might be a pickup for somebody.
Here's a 2-2. And a base hit out to left. He's 2 for 2 tonight.
And that's, remember when Walker first came to the big leagues, he was a 2-pitch pitcher. He had a very good fastball and a very good changeup. Outstanding changeup and fastball. Didn't have much of a curveball, but here's a cutter. And look, you know, it just doesn't do anything. It's up in the zone. It's on the same plane. There's really no movement. And when you see Waka, you want to see the ball thrown on a downward plane around the knees. When he starts getting the ball up around bell tie and above is when he gets hit hard.
So runners at first and second. Aaron Altair, the batter. Curveball and strike 1. Singleton scored. His base hit was to center.
Hanging breaking ball there.
Altair hitting .286 with runners in scoring position. Walker in that rookie year, a near no-hitter. That was against the Nationals. And Max Scherzer today for Washington, a near no-hitter that turned into a loss. Took a no-hitter into the 8th.
Isn't that amazing, huh?
Here's a 1-1. And a high fly ball lifted out to center. Fowler backing up and makes the catch. The Phillies strand 2. We head to the 3rd. Over the Red Sox, and don't look now, the Royals starting to play pretty good baseball.
I was going to say they're starting to get back into it. So maybe instead of Sellers, they keep that team intact, but they can't re-sign all their free agents.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Paul DeYoung, make it 0-2. DeYoung 6 for his last 16, couple of home runs, and he's driven in 5 in that time frame. After the win last night, the Cardinals now have won 14 of 17 against the Phillies. However, that dates back to 2015. If you go back to the middle of May, Cardinals 4-0 against the Phillies, but 7-22 against everybody else. And a strikeout of DeYoung, and that's 4 tonight for Nick Pivetta. The can't miss event of the summer hits South Beach, baseball's biggest stars. It's the MLB All-Star Game, July 11th, only on Fox. Here's Michael Wacha, 0.53 his average. The Cardinals offense has been much better as of late. 4 or more runs in their past 10 games. They've homered in 9 straight. The 2-0 pitch. 2-1. Two and 2.
It looks like he's following that same approach, just going right after hitters, throwing his strikes, not worrying about things. So he's kind of a nervous kid, and he's letting things enter his mind that
Walker with a fly ball that's foul.
One thing you got to learn is your job is tough enough. Don't be trying to do anybody else's. Just worry about what you can control.
Easier said than done.
Sure,
right?
It is. Sometimes a pitcher worries about his offense. You do this, do that, or defense, or ball should have been caught.
Cubs will be in Miami tomorrow. They lost today at Wrigley Field. 3-2 the final. Padres beat the Cubs. 3-2 the count here on Michael Wacha.
One of the better at bats for the Cardinals so far.
This will be pitch number 9 of the at bat. So first time through, he strikes out 5. And with 2 outs and nobody on, Matt Carpenter will be the batter. Back on June 7th, the Cardinals put him in the leadoff spot. Fowler in the second spot in the lineup. In that time frame, he's reached base 32 times. That's most in the major leagues over that time frame.
And there's no doubt that move has paid dividends to the offense.
I'd say definitely for the two at the top, but the rest have to pick it up before and after the move to the leadoff spot. Average has jumped up. OPS, the runs per game for the team. That's a look at your BJC Healthcare difference maker.
And you're exactly right, because Carpenter and Fowler are 1-2 in home runs and RBIs. So they get on base, but they're not being driven in that frequently. When you get the bottom of the order does something, they take care of it. They'll get their RBIs that way. We got to pick it up, through the middle of the order.
Two and one the count. Two balls and two strikes. Carpenter flied out to left, first time up.
Seeing much more confident pitcher on the mound than we saw in St. Louis.
And the 2-2. Foul back.
He was a losing pitcher in a 7-0 game. Through 5 innings, just allowed 4 hits, but 4 runs. They were all earned. He walked 4 in that game and just struck out 2.
Another 2-2 delivery. And Carpenter hits a high fly ball out to deep right near the corner. Altair is over, leaps. Oh, he got it. What a catch, Aaron Altair. Outstanding play in right field. Terrific catch, Aaron Altair. First pitch and a ground ball. Jed Jerko puts it away. Tommy Joseph the first out here in the bottom of the third. Citizens Bank Park opened up in 2004. We've got Ashburn Alley. Bull's Barbecue, owned in part by Greg the Bull Lazinski. The Phillies Wall of Fame. A lot of things to do when you're here at the ballpark. Wall of Fame will add Pete Rose this year. He'll be inducted. Part of the 1980 championship team. Into shallow right, and this ball will drop. Base hit right in front of Piscotty off the bat of Maikel Franco.
Deeper, respecting his power. He hit 25 home runs a year ago, and he dunks one in front of Piscotty. Garcia going back, but right there in the Bermuda Triangle. We're trying to figure out what about Franco. Is he a keeper? They liked him when he first came up.
Liked him a lot last year too.
Yeah, when he hit 25, but this year.
Odubel Herrera, double into right center that scored 2 back in the first. First inning, 3 runs for the Phillies. This could have been and should have been an inning-ending double play. Everybody was safe, bases loaded. Jerko gets the shore out at second, and then the double by Herrera in the gap in the right center, and that scored 2. Here's a 1-1. Slapped foul.
I know Herrera is part of their rebuild. They gave him a 5-year contract.
And he's a former Rule 5 pick.
Yeah.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Herrera. Pitch taken low. 2-2. Well, if that double play is turned behind Wacha, it's a different feel to this game, different look at his performance. But instead, he trails 3-0.
Nobody feels worse about it than Rick Garcia. Those are things that Wacha, you just have to, put out of your mind.
Hit to Jerko. Out at second. The turn not in time.
He can run.
The batter will be Freddie Galvis. So Herrera 1 for 2 on the night.
You get the lead runner here, but no chance to get Herrera with his speed.
Galvis fly to left, first time up. Herrera's running, got a good jump, throw down to second, and in there safely. Stolen base number 5.
Yeah, he's 5 for 9, but he got that jump off of Wacha. Gotti had no chance. Do the jump he got, no hesitation.
Yachty's been right around 30% this year on base stealers.
It's amazing that it's that close with a lot of guys that are not very good at holding runners in check.
Here's the 0-1. Ground ball, that's foul. 0-2 the count. Of 16 first pitch strikes. Slap the other way, but foul.
Guide that ball.
The 0-2. Hit down the right field line. It's hooking and foul. Home run distance, but just foul.
Clearly foul, but struck.
Stays alive.
One thing I've noticed too, Dan, with Wacha's changeup, there's not a great deal of variance between the fastball and changeup. About 7 miles an hour.
Ground ball. And Carpenter puts it away. When we come back, it's a famous date, not only in Phillies history, but baseball history. 3-0 Phils. Shea Stadium to see the perfect game.
But he also felt like if it wouldn't have been Father's Day, they wouldn't have come up there. And if it wasn't for the New York World's Fair back in 1964, he said, that's what I think they really went to go see. Bunning went on to become the senior senator for Kentucky. Many years in the Senate.
2-0 the count on Dexter Fowler. 1964, he was a part of one of the great collapses in baseball history. Gene Mauch's Phillies held a 6.5 game lead with 12 to go. And Mauch made a habit of using starting pitchers on short rest. In particular, his two aces, Chris Short and Jim Bunning. He had them start on 2 days rest multiple times in that stretch run. As a matter of fact, they started 19 of the final 33 games on short rest. And a ground ball that's backhanded by Tommy Joseph, raced to the bag. I guess you could say history paid the Phillies back when the Mets coughed up a 7-game lead with 17 to play, you may recall, in 2007.
And of course, in '64, that collapse, the Cardinals went on to win, but that final weekend, there were about 3 teams that had a chance. Gene Mauch was recognized as a great manager. You know, he never won, but they felt like his strategy was far superior to everybody. And I remember in the '70s, he was managing Montreal, and Phillies and Montreal got in a fight, and they said it was about 25 players fighting Mauch. The players got together and said, let's go get the manager.
Cardinals would face the Yankees, the World Series of 1964. They had added Lou Brock that year, and the rest is history.
Yeah, Lou came over from the Cubs, and he had 348, something like that. I remember Lou was trying to decide what kind of a ball player he was. When he got to the Cardinals, they said, all we want you to do is lead off and steal bases. So you don't want to hit home runs, you don't want this, you want that. No, you got all that. Just get on base and ignite everything, steal bases, and we're going to be fine.
Signed by Buck O'Neill. Great Negro Leagues player and representative of that wonderful establishment in Kansas City. And the Players Association just doled out a check for well over $1 million.
It was together with Major League Baseball and the Players Association. Tony Clark, the players leader, came up with that idea, and I think it's a great one for baseball. And the commissioner endorsed it, and they had a great ceremony today in Kansas City presenting that check.
A base hit to right field by Jed Jerko. A bloop hit, the only hit for the Cardinals tonight. That was back in the 2nd inning. And the 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Kubota power stats. Thinking about home runs and Jerko. Fewest at bats and home runs. Pujols, Tatis, Jerko, and Rolen. Those numbers as third baseman in Cardinals history.
Albert, the first 2 years, was playing at third.
This is Galvis. Uses the grass, but a base hit for Jed Jerko, and he has the only 2 hits for the Cardinals tonight.
He's got more 3-hit games than any other Cardinal, so hopefully he'll add to that list. And the Cardinals can get something done here with 2 outs. Galvis, very slick fielder, makes the play, but doesn't have enough arm strength to get it over there. That's what you like to see. Somebody mad at themselves, make a nice play, and mad that they couldn't get a better throw on it.
Here's Yadier Molina. Struck out back in the 2nd. Pivetta already with 6 strikeouts in this game. The reality is, though, it's not just the Cardinals, it is league-wide. Strikeouts are up, games are longer, home runs being hit at a record pace again. Here's a 1-1. Also seeing more 3-2 counts this year than we've seen in a long time. Those are way up. That extends the length of at bats, extends the length of games.
Well, in baseball today, strikeouts have become acceptable. Nobody shortens up trying to put the ball in play with 2 strikes.
And the 1-2 is a high fly ball into left center. And the catch is made by Cam Perkins. Catch made on the track. Cardinals strand a runner. And we're midway through 4. It's 3-0. Jim Hayes, who is the best at what he does in the game of baseball, he brought cheesesteaks not only to the booth but to the truck. He's buying for everybody. Jimmy, what do you have on the cheesesteaks here?
Well, you know, they make great ones in the visitors clubhouse here at Citizens Bank Park. We did some regional cable journalism for a feature that'll run on the pregame show tomorrow. An update on a story we did before. Many feel these cheesesteaks are the best in Philly. I worked here for a few years, and I agree. And visiting teams can sometimes overindulge. For example, the record for cheesesteaks consumed in a 4-game series, 23 by Brewers bullpen catcher Marcus Hanel. The record for a player in a 3-game series, 18 by Matt Latos. The 1-day record, 10 cheesesteaks by the Giants video coach. And then it may make the team nutritionist mad, but I was told as a team the Cardinals ate 40 cheesesteaks yesterday and they won. So I'm hoping they overindulge again today. Maybe they get another W.
40?
40.
Wow.
Now, I must confess that when I came up to the booth, there was one of the cheesesteaks for me that Jimmy provided. I ate it all, enjoyed it. Saw Jim, thanked him, and he said, well, you know, I had lunch with Aaron's mom today, and we had this big sandwich, and you know how I can eat. I couldn't eat another one, so I gave it to you, Al.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, he said, and you know he can eat. I think he could set the record. Don't you think so?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No, he's not going to be able to put it down 10. No way.
No way, 10. No way.
10 in a day.
Come on, I'll bet. Let's bet him.
Base hit into center. And racing towards third was Knapp, but he stops there. So Nick Pivetta picks up the base hit, showing bunt. Swings away and picks up the base hit.
Says, what do I do now? It's his second hit at the big league level. Mickey Morandini, their first base coach. I didn't chop down on the ball, so you always worry about running into a double play, but he got it over the infield and helps his own cause.
And now it's Cam Perkins, picked up his first major league hit back in the second. Curveball and a strike. So the leadoff walk to Andrew Knapp, base hit by Pivetta, and some trouble brewing here for Michael Wacha.
Also, Dan, you know, the pitch count gets up in the early going too. That contributes to Wacha's early exits.
Here's a 1-1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Derek Lilliquist on the horn for the bullpen. And you mentioned it. The key could be a Tyler Lyons appearance in this ball game.
Getting Brevy up too, so maybe one to get out of an inning and then let Tyler start the inning fresh.
And a strikeout. And if you're Michael Wacha, you're a double play away and you're out of the inning.
Exactly right. That's the way you got to think, Danny. Now look at this ball. Look at the ball. That's dive down. That's what he's got to do, is keep that ball at the bottom of the strike zone. When the ball gets elevated is when he gets in trouble. Now there are times where you'll elevate above the strike zone, maybe trying to get a punch out. But when he's trying to execute pitches and they're, waist high or above the belt, that's when he gets in trouble.
And a pitch inside to Howie Kendrick, who's 2 for 2. A single to left and also a single to right. Season high is 101. He's had 66 pitches tonight, averaging right around 88. Two balls and no strikes. Well, from the Cardinals' perspective, if you're Mike Matheny, you're saying, well, we can get into the bullpen of the Phillies. We got a chance to win this game.
Exactly.
And so you've got to keep it 3 to 4 runs. Can't let the game get out of control. Where other starters may have that longer leash.
Throwing a couple high breaking balls that he's gotten called strikes because they haven't swung, but flirting with danger with a hitter like Kendrick.
Of his 68 pitches, only 16 have been changeups. Seeing the fastball and the curveball, some cutters that have been up. There's a base hit into right field, and the bases will be loaded. Knapp had to make sure that got through, wasn't caught. And Kendrick is 3 for 3. 9 for 13 with a home run now. Updated Kendrick against Waka.
See, the ball is just right there in the middle. It's up in the zone, and here you got a hitter that will spray the ball around, very disciplined. I can't let him face Kendrick again in this game. Can you?
Let's see the situation.
Yeah, I know, but
I get your drift.
Yeah.
Here's Aaron Altair, base hit to center, also flied out to center.
Also a great catch in right field.
Heck of a play.
Well, we said that we noticed he got our attention in St. Louis, that he looks like a pretty nice young ball player. And he hasn't done anything to change that opinion.
Here's a 1-0. Good curveball, 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's down.
Inning started with a walk by Andrew Knapp. Pivetta showed bunt, single to center, strikeout of Perkins, base hit to right by Kendrick. So for the second time tonight, the base is loaded here for the Phils. 3-1. Strike zone has been fairly high with the calls, and that one caught the bottom of the zone, but you could see it going a little bit low too.
I noticed last night that a lot of high pitches were called.
3-1 pitch. Little chopper that's hit to short. DeYoung to second. The turn. And it's thrown away by Greg Garcia. This will allow another run to score.
Hendrick took out Garcia, wiped him out, and that's what forced the throw to be errant. Gets away from him. Fielder's choice. DeYoung gets it there to Garcia and throws it wide.
The Cardinals were taking a look at it to see if that slide was within the new rules of that second base play, and
definitely was.
No question. It's 5-0 Phillies. Fielder's choice and the second error on Greg Garcia tonight. Here's Tommy Joseph. Ball scoots through Molina, and Altair to second base. A wild pitch charged to Michael Wacha.
Third ball, pulls down on it. Gets away from Yachty.
The souvenir to our right. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. One and two. That's a base hit to left. Throw by Pham to the plate is there. It's in time. A strong throw by Tommy Pham to keep this a 5-0 Phillies lead. The base hit by Tommy Joseph, and Pham with a strike to the plate. Cardinals here in inning number 5. 5-0 our score. And Pham a strong throw to end the 4th. One point, Tommy Pham in the minor leagues by Baseball America rated as the best outfield arm in the minor leagues.
As always was the best athlete.
Oh, and 2 the count.
Now it's one of those throws that if it doesn't get the guy at home plate, you know, the batter takes second base, but he had plenty of arm strength on that one, and it was good to see.
And a fastball taken high. The Cardinals with just 2 hits tonight, both by Jed Jerko, a bloop single to right field and an infield hit back in the 4th inning.
Six strikeouts. Cardinals tonight.
Well, how do you evaluate Michael Wacha tonight? One hand, it's a 5-0 deficit. He's given up 9 hits. On the other hand, you could say also there have been 2 costly errors that have led to 4 of the 5 runs.
But then you look to, you know, he's allowed a lot of hits.
Yep, 9 hits.
You know, and last inning, what was the killer was the walk to the 8th place hitter.
Here's a 2-2 and a breaking ball taken low. The bright side of things, Jim Hayes is wearing his Father's Day tie and had a nice story on cheesesteaks.
And he's consumed 5 of those cheesesteaks right now, looking for 6.
No, sir. We tried to entice him to go for the single day record of 10, and he says he can't do it.
Quitter.
Here's a 3-2 pitch. Hit out of play by Tommy Pham.
I'm shocked. And he just quit on that. That is the kind that would accept any challenge.
It's a 9-pitch at bat for Tommy Pham. Make it 10.
That's the thing too, Danny. You try and get this pitch count up, get him out of there as quick as you can, and get into that bullpen. Tyler Lyons is throwing in the Cardinal pen, so we'll see if Michael Wacha's night is through.
Line foul again.
Tommy's got a good attitude. You know, he wants to stay in this lineup.
Last night was his 11th multi-hit game, which included that 2-run homer late. 3-2 pitch. Pham with a drive out to deep center. Herrera is back. He's at the wall. He'll leap and it's gone. Tommy Pham is homered now in both games of this series, and that's number 8, and the Cardinals get on the board.
Talking with Tommy today, you know, we talked about he just wants to hit the ball hard, wants to hit line drives. Said they'll carry out, I'll get a fair share of home runs if I hit the ball hard and just take that line drive approach. Lengthy at bat, ball up in the zone. You see he's strong enough to hit it out of any part of the ballpark. At center field here, the Cardinals are on the board.
Here's Greg Garcia.
Nobody feels worse for what's gone on in this game than Greg Garcia committing the 2 errors, but you know, he's made 17 previous starts, and the club is 12-5 in those starts.
Here's the 0-1. Tough night for Greg. Costly error back in the first. Could have been an inning-ending double play. And the throwing error that led to a run back in the bottom of the 4th. After the play in the first wasn't made, 3 runs would score. So Tommy Pham gets the Cardinals on the board. And it's 1-2 on Garcia. We had Pham saving a run with his throw from left field and now putting up a run on the board. The 2-2 pitch. Garcia is 0 for 2. 7 strikeouts for Nick Pivetta. Pre-game, post-game, or overnight, Hyatt Regency St. Louis at the Arch has all the bases covered for your next ballpark visit. New guest rooms, barbecue at the Brew House Sports Bar and Grill. All just steps from the transformed Arch grounds and riverfront. Book today, 655-1234. Strike 1-2, Paul DeYoung. He struck out his first time up. Ooh, that was hittable there. Breaking ball that was up in the zone.
You know, Dan, that's this level, you know, you still get a pitch that you can drive or handle it. Still got to center it.
Fastball on the outside corner. Friday, June 30th, Budweiser is providing 30,000 fans ages 21 and older a 1967 World Series championship beer stein. And this stein is the 7th in the championship series. Highlights the 50th anniversary of the Cardinals World Series win over Boston. And get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. So that'll be it for Michael Wacha. 8 strikeouts for Nick Pivetta. And this will be Chad Hoffman, who is 4 for 11. And most of that damage done as a pinch hitter. He's made 1 start that was over the weekend in Baltimore. So tough night for Michael Wacha, only lasting 4 innings. And a breaking ball is taken inside. 79 pitches tonight for Michael Wacha.
And 9 hits, 5 runs, 2 of them were earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and a wild pitch. Right there again, throwing 20 pitches per inning, and just doesn't keep you in there a long time. But it had a little help, and Tyler Lyons will come in here, try and throw up some shutouts and let the offense catch up.
Here's a 1-1. Curveball and a strike.
A lot of hanging breaking balls, but they're just gearing for the fastball and can't make the adjustment.
Here's a 1-2. Huffman a swing and a miss, and that's 9 through 5 innings for Nick Pivetta. The Cardinals, though, get on the board with a solo home run by Tommy Pham, his 8th of the year. RBI number 21. 5-1 Phils. Michael Wacha is through 4 innings, 5 runs. Only 2 were earned. 9 hits, struck out 3, walked 1. Tyler Lyons is into the ball game for St. Louis. This will be his 12th appearance. And right now, if you're a fan of the Cardinals, you're wondering in 5 days, what do you do with Michael Wacha? Does he stay in the rotation? Does he go to the bullpen? Could Tyler Lyons make a spot start? Do you go to the minor leagues? I would assume all of that is on the table right now.
Yes, and the Cardinals have been very fortunate. They've only used 6 starters all year, and the 6th starter was Marco Gonzalez in the doubleheader, where you're allowed to call somebody up in the minor leagues. So you've had the same 5 virtually for every start, but you do have to consider, moving Wacha to the bullpen.
It's yanked foul off the bat of Maikel Franco. Scored a run back in the first. Base hit to shallow right.
If you move Wacha to the bullpen, and with the issues with his shoulder, you just wonder how many times a week you can use him. Would you have to use him as a long man and allow him to have 2 or 3 days rest in between? Glad those are not my decisions.
One thing I would say too about Wacha is that we've seen at times, can be dominating, and he might be the kind of guy, the high throw there by DeYoung to Carpenter, that can bridge the gap to get you to Rosenthal and which at times has been a struggle for the Cardinals too.
Yeah, I think that I see a definite role. You also could see that you could have 2 guys like a Lyons and a Wacha down there as long men, and then there's the days of rest where you go to Tyler Lyons.
Well, we shall see.
We shall see.
Odubel Herrera, stolen base back in the 3rd, and back in the 1st, a double to right center that scored 2. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hyundai pitch arsenal on the Cardinals lefty Tyler Lyons.
Slider is his best pitch in our mind, correct?
Absolutely. It's a good one. You could see that Herrera tried to call time, was not granted, and Lyons did the right thing, finished the pitch.
Yes.
And the 1-2.
Also, I compliment the umpire for not granting it late in a pitcher's windup. The reason we say go ahead and execute the pitch is because when you try to stop, those when injuries could happen to a pitcher. Bullpen was outstanding last night. 5 shutout innings. Need some work from them today, but can't do that, back to back with a day game tomorrow. Makes it tough. So really, Lions has to eat up a lot of innings here.
Hit to third, and Jerko makes the play for out number 2. Road trip will come to a close tomorrow, and it's Carlos Martinez Day. Always fun to watch him pitch. Against the Phillies, last time out June 10th, first ever complete game shutout. He's become appointment TV when he's on the mound. Fun to watch. That's our Budweiser What's on Tap and Carlos Martinez.
I remember how he got off to a great start on opening day, and then he ran some bad luck. And now Carlos's ERA is 3rd best in the National League.
Freddie Galvis has flied to left and also grounded out to first. 1 ball and 1 strike. Curveball and a fair ball past the diving Jed Jerko. Throw off line to second base, and Freddie Galvis has a double.
Tommy Pham really got that ball, cut it off, and got it into second base very, very quickly. Never even really straightened up. Just a bouncer. Jed off the line, but watch Tommy just sling that ball out there, and he got it in so quickly that if Galvis wasn't hustling, they would have been able to tag him out. Intentional pass.
Brings in the pitcher. Pivetta squared to bunt back in the 4th and then singled to center field. Runners at first and second with 2 down. For the Phillies, it's been just a terrible go here lately. They won 11 of their first 20 games to start the season. They've won just 11 of their last 49.
Had a great, horrible May, and then their road record really had a lot of trouble.
They felt going into this year that they could be a team that would finish right around 500, if not slightly better.
Yeah. They're 9-28 on the road.
0-2 pitch and a strikeout. First of the night for Tyler Lyons. We head to inning number 6. Carpenter, Fowler, Piscotti coming up, and it's 5-1. The crew chief is Dan Iasonia, and he was alerted to this in between innings. Our best guess is maybe there's an issue with replay right now. Forecast looks good, even though we had rain earlier this afternoon.
And I think it's the Phillies notifying New York and the umpiring crew that something's wrong here in this stadium. That maybe they're having some technical difficulties. Mackin is going to be informed by the home plate umpire what's going on. Sony's in contact with New York, and then they explain it to the managers. Best guess, right?
Yep. The Cardinals have the top of the lineup here in the top of the 6th. Matt Carpenter, Dexter Fowler, and Stephen Piscotti. Carpenter tonight is 0 for 2.
Got to get something started this inning.
The story has been developing Nick Pivetta. Just 3 hits, and he struck out 9 Cardinals.
Good fastball, and then he's looks like he's kind of frozen him on a lot of breaking balls.
So what we understand is that the phone for the Cardinals to their video room is not working. So Mike Matheny and David Bell have been given a walkie-talkie. And that's how they'll communicate if replay does come up the rest of the way. There you go. 2-2 the count on Matt Carpenter. And a strikeout. That's number 10 tonight. And 4 in a row for Pivetta.
Right there on the black.
The Cardinals' lone run tonight was a Tommy Pham solo home run, his 8th of the year. And St. Louis is now homered in 10 straight games.
He struck out 11 Colorado Rockies.
Fowler fights it off, but a soft liner hit to Galvis. The batter will be Stephen Piscotty. Arcia in the driver's seat. He has picked it up, and we mentioned 1 and 2 in the lineup, very good. Carpenter and Fowler. The Cardinals' number 3 hitters, a .218 average.
Yeah. And not a lot of production during that time, so.
Hit down the left field line and pulled foul.
I think we might see Piscotty in that area for a while.
Last 15 games for Steven to coincide with the move at the top of the lineup. He's driven in 14 and has 4 home runs.
Jerko has the highest batting average, the cleanup hitter, but he hits his home runs, and he's got 10 of them, all solo shots.
Here's a 2-1. Take an eye. Pivetta has now walked a man tonight. 2 hits by Jerko, the home run by Pham, and that's been it. To go along with 10 strikeouts. The 3-1 pitch. 3-2.
Struck out 9 Red Sox's last outing. Went through 7 shutout innings. Then in April the 20th, he got his career high in strikeouts with 11. That was in his 3rd major league start. Probably his last bat or his last inning of work.
And he walked him. So the Cardinals have a base runner for Jed Jerko. Well, join us to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Cardinals' 1942 World Series championship. That day, 30,000 fans on July 1st, 16 and older. Take home a wearable 1942 World Series replica ring. It's courtesy of Edward Jones. Pretty efficient here tonight. 5th inning in which that's hit. Out to deep right, may carry, and it's gone. A home run for Jed Jerko. The Cardinals right back in this game.
And there's your first non-solo home run for Jerko in 2017.
Number 11, RBIs 30 and 31, and Jerko 3 for 3 tonight.
McClure come out and talk to his young right-hander.
I was about to say, Al, the 25 pitches in the 1 inning, he struck out the side. So that's why you see the high pitch count in this game with the 10 strikeouts, and now he's given up 2 home runs.
Yeah, Jerko was 2 for 2. Now he got that high fastball out away from him that he's been driving to right field, making him a much more dangerous hitter. But good to see that streak of solo home runs is now gone. And 18 of his last 21 home runs going back to last year were solo.
And a fastball and a strike to Yadier Molina. Molina skies one into shallow center. Herrera is there. The eyes of Jed Jerko, they light up and get big. He sees a home run coming. State Farm perfect pair. 2 home runs hit tonight. This one to center by Pham, and the other moments ago, a 2-run homer by Jed Jerko. State Farm perfect pair. 2nd inning of work for Tyler Lyons. We get Cam Perkins, Howie Kendrick, and Aaron Altair. So the 10 strikeouts for Nick Pivetta. First Philly to strike out double digits since Vince Velasquez, the 4th game of this regular season. Good breaking ball, 0-2.
Cardinals are right back in it with this ball game. Philly starters should be through for the game, so they're into that bullpen. Luis Garcia is warming up for Pete Cannon. There's Garcia. We saw him last night.
Lions spot for the Cardinals, 4 away. So depending on what happens next inning, we'll see how the Cardinals want to play it. The check swing, and he struck him out. So Perkins, in his first major league start, has struck out 3 times, and has his first major league hit, and that was back in the 2nd.
I think both managers have somewhat of a dilemma how they want to use their bullpen the rest of the way too. You could see a scenario where Lions spot would come up with 2 outs, maybe a guy on first base, and they decide that he's more valuable to let him hit for himself so he could stay in and pitch. I could see that as a possibility.
Here's a 1-0. Kendrick takes a pitch high. 3 for 3 tonight. He's not happy Michael Wacha still isn't in this game. He owns him. Always about comfort with a pitcher and where they want to line up, in particular with the pitching rubber.
Like he's more in the middle, but more to the first base side. And he turns his foot. Most left-handers are going to throw a little bit across their body, but have more success pitching away to a right-hander.
3-1 breaking ball, and that's strike 2. And he lost him. For just joining us, Lions in relief of Michael Wacha. Went 4 innings. Gave up 5 runs, only 2 of which were earned. 9 hits, struck out 3. Pivetta just the 4th Phillies rookie to strike out 10 Cardinals. Last to do it, Cole Hamels in 2006. Prior to that, a former Cardinal and Philly, Garrett Stevenson in 1997. Dennis Bennett in 1962. That's fouled back. So at the plate, Aaron Altair. Picked up an RBI in the 4th, flied out to center, and a run scored and a single in the 1st.
Played 57 games with the Phillies last year and hit under 200, but it looks like he belongs at this league now. Has his average up to 356.
Picked him off, and they throw it away. This will be the Cardinals' 3rd error of the night. Kendrick on his way to 3rd. You never want to see errors, but boy, have these errors been costly tonight.
Played 10 errorless games, but tonight the 3rd one. High throw, Carpenter couldn't bring it down, and not only does he get second base, but he goes on to 3rd with just 1 out for their RBI leader. Right when you think you're back in the ball game too.
And now the Cardinals have to have the infield in. Lined into the seats, and Lyons needs to strike out here. 1-2 the count.
Strikeout, pop up in the infield. Ball inside.
The 2-2. Thing about Tyler Lyons, works quickly. Not afraid to throw that breaking ball in behind in the count.
Minor leagues, you don't see those breaking balls for strikes when you're behind the count. But up here, it's about execution.
Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Tyler Lyons, and a big one there.
There's that good breaking ball that goes to the back foot. Needed that, but now he needs 1 more out.
Tommy Joseph reached on an error back in the 1st, grounded out to 3rd. And singled in the 4th. It was Tommy Pham, the base hit by Joseph that threw out Altair trying to score at that point to make it a 6-0 lead. Pham has a home run tonight too. 1 ball and 1 strike. Breaks his bat, slowly hit towards short. DeYoung makes the play, and Tyler Lyons out of this bottom of the 6th jam. Coming up for the Cardinals, Pham, Garcia, and DeYoung. It's 5-3. Back in inning number 5, it was Tommy Pham. Got the Cardinals on the board. Long at bat, long home run. Tommy Pham with home run number 8. Jerko a 2-run homer. That was off of Nick Pivetta. And now Luis Garcia, our Chevy call to the pen. Pivetta, 6 innings, 3 runs on 4 hits, struck out 10, and walked 1, gave up the 2 homers. We're in the top of the 7th. And the first pitch is strike to Tommy Pham. Garcia is recalled back on May 12th from Lehigh Valley, their AAA affiliate. He's had big league experience with the Dodgers and the Nationals.
Garcia came in and struck out the 1 batter he faced last night in the 11th inning to stop that 7-run run. He's more their long man. He's the all-time saves leader at their AAA affiliate. So he's been up and down about 3 or 4 years with the Phils.
Gone 2 or more innings multiple times, 5 different times this year. So you could see him maybe going more than 1 here tonight. Pat Neshek, former Cardinals, had an incredible start to his season. May see him as well. Here's a 1-2. And a strikeout. Lee Buckler. All Sunday, starting 2 hours prior to every home game, enjoy games, prizes, free North Star ice cream treats while supplies last in the Ford Plaza, presented by Prairie Farms. So the Cardinals tonight have struck out 11 times, and it's only 1 out here in the 7th.
And they've hit 17 home runs on this road trip. This being the 5th game.
Garcia 0 for 2. 0 for his last 11.
You know, he'd love to atone for his 2 errors tonight.
Here's a 1-0. Little chopper that's hit to Howie Kendrick. 2 away.
As the starter, Pivetta went 6 innings. We may only see Garcia 1 inning here and then turn it over to Neshek for the 8th.
Cardinals have a right-hander getting loose in the pen. Lyon's spot is due up next, but if DeYoung makes an out, you may see Tyler Lyons 1 more inning. So 2 outs and nobody on.
Beretta.
Brebbia.
The starters got me all mixed up. There's John. And Jose Martinez is at the on deck circle, but like you said, might want to keep Tyler in there.
1-1.
Hopefully DeYoung just hits the home run and then we'll just figure it out.
One ball and 2 strikes.
Ball has hit 2 home runs on this trip. Six for 18, 2 bombs.
The 2-2 pitch to Paul DeYoung. Struck him out. Tough night for Paul. He was struck out 3 times. Time to stretch. Phillies on top. Look at this. Interesting numbers here. Full counts per game way up. This is research done back to 1988. Plate appearances about the same, but deeper counts. Total pitches per game, they're above where they were in 1988. Percentage of plate appearance, seeing 6 or more pitches, and that's way up too. So you're seeing a lot of teams that go deep into counts. We're seeing strikeouts at an all-time high level. Tonight, the Cardinals, been a tough go for them. They have struck out 12 times. And we've seen a combined total of 18 in this game. There's a fly ball lifted out to right. Piscotty going in the corner and makes the catch up against the wall.
Dan, one of the biggest things I see is pitchers today are trying to make perfect pitches.
Time a game is up here in 2017 as well.
You don't have fastball command where everyone had the ability to have one location where you can consistently go to that strike zone, and a lot of times it was down and away. And of course, I'll say this, that very few hitters in my time hit the ball opposite field out of the ballpark, where that happens all the time today. But you pitch a guy down and away, get a little ground ball to second base. Hopefully you did it on the first or second pitch. You never tried to get strikeouts until if you had 2 strikes. But next time up, if if there's nobody on base, you say you threw the same pitch. And you got a base hit, it was going to be a single. But you never threw your out pitch, or you tried never to throw your out pitch until you got in the jam. That's where you saw the great ones like a Seaver, early in the count, they're just trying to let you hit the ball. They gave up a lot of home runs because they were trying to have pitch to contact. But when they got a couple guys on base, the game was on the line, then you saw the better breaking ball, you saw the fastball increase and better location, trying to put you away.
It's softly to short. DeYoung quickly to first, and it's beaten out by Herrera. His second hit.
Yeah, they think there's a possibility of a batting championship in his future because of that running speed. He does have a little pop in his bat too, but great speed. Paul does everything he can right here. Has a strong throw, but just doesn't beat the speed. Of course, he from the left side, he can utilizes that speed, and that ball right there, he's almost got the running start the way he swings at it.
Here's Freddie Galvis, doubled back in the 5th, and prior to the infield hit by Herrera, that was the only base hit that Lions had given up. Came in relief of Michael Wacha. Wacha only 4 innings tonight. 9 hits, 5 runs. Only 2, though, of which were earned. Herrera had a stolen base back in the 3rd. That was his 5th of the year.
As we documented at the time, he stole that off of Michael Wacha, not off of Yadier Molina. You throw over, you keep him close, give Yadi a chance, and he'll do his job. Galvis switch hitter, better from the left side.
And that's fouled back.
Benoit warming up for the Phils. And
a base hit into right field. Going from first to third, it's Herrera.
Dallas done a nice job here just shooting that ball to right field. Taking it out there, and then Herrera with that great speed. Can't stop him. He's going to go to first to third every time on a ball like this. See Juan Samuel, the third base coach. He was a good one. Got a good coaching staff here, you know. Good, solid major league players. You think of Boa as the bench guy. McClure, big pitch for a long time. Mickey Morandini over at first.
Here's Andrew Knapp. Walked twice, scored a run back in the fourth. Second walk was intentional in the fifth.
He also is a switch hitter and just 2 for 19 from this side of the plate.
0-2 the count.
Knapp didn't like this ball, but you see a little bit outside, but got to be careful as a catcher. You don't want to argue too much and take pitches away from your own guy.
Here's the 0-2, and he struck him out. So again, another big strikeout for Lyons with a runner at third and only one out.
His fourth strikeout. See, it's in his third inning of work. A good breaking ball again.
This would be Ty Kelly, switch hitter.
Had Ty Kelly a couple years ago in camp, Cardinals, and I know what you're going to say about it'll be a 3-2 count.
See if it's true to form. Here's ball one.
I noticed that spring that if he started out 3-0 or 0-2, it ended up with a 3-2 count.
So runners at first and third.
He's 4 for 15 as a pinch hitter this year. But all 4 of his RBIs this season have given the Phillies a lead. And 2 of them were game winners, including the one he got on Sunday before the Cardinals came in town.
The 2-1 pitch to Ty Kelly. 3-1. Well, what do you know? 3-2. Runner from first base, that's Freddie Galvis off with the pitch. 3-2 the count. Runner at third is Herrera. And he struck him out. Great work by Tyler Lyons in relief of Michael Wacha. Puts up 3 scoreless innings and keeps the Cardinals in this game. We head to the 8th. 5 is indeed an all-star this year. Joaquin Benoit, 29th appearance. We saw him pitch last night, and he'll get the 8th with the Phillies leading by 2.
Very tough on right-handers, but he's tough on everybody. Points are batting 181 overall. The right-handed batters, and Jose Martinez is going to pinch hit here, are batting just 156. He started out 0 for 20, but 5 for 10 with a home run and 3 RBIs in his last 5 games. He was on the DL for a while with a left knee sprain.
So Martinez pinch hitting for Tyler Lyons, who was terrific in relief of Michael Wacha. And Martinez on the first pitch sends it into the seats. We have a 1-run game. Off the bench, solo home run, Jose Martinez.
That's how you pinch hit. Martinez has done a nice job as a pinch hitter. He's 4 for 9 this year as a pinch hitter, and now he's 8 for 15 as a pinch hitter. Ball up, fastball. You're going to see a lot of that from Benoit early in the count, and he put it in the seats. Great work, as you said, from Tyler Lyons to get it back to where, you know, you're right in this ball game.
Ball 1 to Carpenter. Jose Martinez, first pitch he sees, and it's a home run.
We're ready for that fastball.
Here is Carpenter on the second pitch, looking at ball 2.
There you go, Jose.
The Cardinals come back, tie this game up, and if they could win this game, boy, you look at Tyler Lyons and you give him all the credit. What a job he did. The 2-0 pitch. Twice that Lyons had a runner at third, and only one out. The Phillies did not score.
I don't mean to take anything away from it, but he did what he was supposed to do. Doesn't always happen, and deserves all the praise for doing so. That's his role.
The 2-1 pitch to Carpenter. Hits it sharply, but into the shift. Academy Sports and Outdoor Leaderboard. Relief losses, Phillies with 17. Just 2 back of Milwaukee. Makes you wonder where Milwaukee would be if they had better pitching.
Good point.
Here's Dexter Fowler. Didn't homer last night as he was trying to make it 5 straight. Called out on strikes, grounded out, and hit a soft liner to short. 1 out and nobody on. Strike 1.
It was Martinez's 4th home run of the year and his first ever pinch hit home run.
Cardinals were down 5-0 in this game. And Tommy Pham hit a home run to make it 5-1. Then a 2-out, 2-run homer by Jed Jerko in the 6th made it 5-3. And Martinez solo shot off the bench has pulled the Cardinals to within a run. Pulled him and struck him out. 2 down. Brebbia and Rosenthal loose. Brebbia on the left. He would be if the Cardinals do not score. Rosenthal would be if they tie it up. More than likely. It's now 13 strikeouts in the Cardinals lineup. 2 outs, nobody on.
Cardinals have been out hit 12-5 in this ball game and committed all 3 errors in the game. One swing of the bat, we could have a tie ball game.
Big gap in left center. 0-1 pitch. 0-2. It's not often, if you have 13 or more strikeouts and commit 3 errors, that you're in the ball game, much less have a chance to tie it or win it.
Exactly.
Oh, 0-2 here on Stephen Piscotty. Struck out back in the 4th, walked and scored in the 6th, then grounded out to short.
He's got that good changeup. Try to put you away with. Also a slider.
Oh-2 pitch again. Piscotty with a drive into deep right. It is off the wall. Steven on his way to second base. He'll stop there in the tying run in scoring position.
Altair is about 6'5" and he tried to play it off the wall. Another fastball up and away. Goes with the pitch and does a nice job.
Few feet away from tying this game. So runner at second. Here's Jed Jerko, who's 3 for 3 tonight. A blue base hit to right, infield hit in the 4th, and then a 2-out, 2-run homer in the 6th. His 11th of the year.
Jerko and Benoit went there together in San Diego. He's 0 for 1 against him.
Outfield is straight away. Back in the 6th inning. Jed Jerko, what he's done so many times this year. Hitting with power to the opposite field.
What was different about that one, it was his first non-solo home run of the year. How about doing the same thing right here and giving the Cardinals their first lead?
One and one. With a changeup.
Good, very good fastball hitter. Fastball's getting turned around on him tonight, so hang a changeup.
The 1-1 pitch. Fastball outside. 2-1. A hitter's count. Molina on deck. Tying run in scoring position. Finally set, and here's the 2-1. 2-2. Two pitch.
He likes the ball up.
It's another 2-2 pitch to Jed Jerko. Three and two. You wouldn't throw him a fastball here with first base open, would he?
Other people I'd say no, but with Benoit I'd say probable. Took him a while to get on the same page, catcher and pitcher.
3-2 pitch. The next to Jed Jerko. Here she comes.
Slider. Cardinals get closer, but not. Still one down. Still got a ball game right here.
Cardinals have struck out now 14 times in this game, but they trail only by a run. So Brebbia in here in the bottom of the 8th. He'll get the top of the lineup. Jose Martinez stays in the ball game, takes over in right field, and Brebbia will be in Piscotty's spot. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light, famous among friends, and by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals.
And Tyler Lyons came into this ball game in the 5th inning. They were down 5-1 with his great 3 innings of shutout baseball. Now Brebbia takes over for the Cardinals down 5-4. Martinez, who pinch hit his first career home run as a pinch hitter. He'll stay in the ball game, and as you said, play right.
Little tapper that's rolling foul. The top of the lineup in Cam Perkins. On a hop to DeYoung. Settles and throws. So Perkins' first major league start goes 1 for 5 for the moment. Looking ahead to the 9th inning, the Cardinals will have Molina, Pham, and Garcia. Lions 3 scoreless innings, and now Brebbia.
Brebbia has been very tough on the right-handed batters. 3 for 27 against him.
Howie Kendrick has been on base 4 times tonight. 3 singles, a run scored, and a walk. It's a fly ball into left center. Dexter Fowler makes the catch. And there's 2 away.
Good work. You see that? Good team back on offense. And
a good slider to Aaron Altair. Singleton scored back in the first, fly to center. Fielder's choice RBI. That was in the 4th and struck out in the 6th, and it's 0-2.
And Neris, their closer. I'm not sure if he was warming up before, but he's getting ready to build his first pitch in the bullpen right now. just take off running. Seen a good fastball from him and a very effective slider.
And the 2-2. Fastball, and he struck him out. Good work by Brebbia. 1-2-3 go the Phils. We head to the ninth. Pham has already homered tonight. It's 5-4. Was in some trouble in both the 6th and the 7th, but was able to pitch out of the jam. Runner at third. Only one out. Got a strikeout, then a ground out. And then the following inning, again, runner at third and only one out. And he was able to get back-to-back strikeouts. So great work by Tyler Lyons.
He ended up with 5 strikeouts in his 3 shutout innings of work.
So in this game, the Cardinals have struck out 14 times. You see the bullpen work in this series. And the Phillies have struck out 9 times.
Now the Cardinals only have 6 hits. Phillies have 12. Cardinals have committed 3 errors, none for the Phils. And Hector Neris, their closer now.
He will get Yadier Molina, Tommy Pham, and Greg Garcia. Chevy called to the pen. We're in the top of the ninth. The numbers on Harris. Here's a 1-0. Molina with a fly ball out to center. Herrera was spun around, going back and makes the catch at the edge of the track.
Oh, it looked like he first kind of stumbled. Didn't know if he was going to get back there, but he has that great speed and gets back to the track.
Came in
Came
steps.
in, yeah. Must not have read that well off the bat, but with the speed, he's able to make up for those 2 extra steps, the first steps.
Here's Tommy Pham, home run back in inning number 5. Also saved a run with his throw from left field to get a runner trying to score.
Neris has a 5.40 ERA when pitching the 9th inning. 0.75 in all other innings. 11 of his 12 runs allowed have come in the 9th.
Here's a 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike.
See, mid-90s fastball, but he's got a splitter and very inconsistent with it. It can be a big strikeout pitch for him, or he can leave it up and get hit hard. Took the loss on Sunday.
This is well hit. Out to center. Herrera back, and we're tied. Tommy Pham does it again. We're tied at 5. Tommy Pham's 2nd home run of the night.
Just didn't know if the Cardinals started their offense early enough, but now they've tied this ball game. And how about Tommy Pham? Pretty excited. He had a 2-run home run last night in the 11th inning. Here are 2 home runs in his last 3 plate appearances. And another one that he powers the ball to the deepest part of the field off the back wall.
Garcia with a fly ball out to shallow left. And the catch is made by Perkins. Tommy Pham 2 for 4 with a couple of solo home runs. And now how big does that throw become back in the 4th inning, which would have made it 6-0 if he didn't throw out Altair.
He's hit 4 home runs on this road trip. 3 home runs in this series.
The Cardinals' 4th home run of the night. 2 by Pham, 1 by Jerko, and the other off the bench by Martinez.
Who stayed in this game, and he's on the on-deck circle.
0-2 the count. DeYoung is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. A game in which the Phillies led 5-0. The Cardinals have come back and tied it up.
Just had a feeling that if you could get into their bullpen, you had a chance. Cardinals have now scored 4 or more runs in their last 11 games. They've done that one other time this season. And the last time they did it in 11 straight games like they have now was back in 2010.
Here's a 1-2 to Paul DeYoung. Fouled back.
Cardinals have only received 1 walk in this ball game. Only have 7 hits, and 4 of them are home runs. They've only stranded 3 runners in this game.
And that's well hit. Down the left field line, hooking, and it is just foul. Boy, not by much. The way the Phillies have used their pen, as you get a look at the reaction of the bench, makes you think that Pat Neshek is unavailable tonight. You know, he's normally your 8th inning guy in a tight game. They need wins desperately.
I think what they're trying to do also is they're looking to the future, and a guy like Neris, even though they know, you know, he has pitched more effectively in, say, a setup role, they're sitting here going, we're thinking about the future. Is this our legitimate closer for the future? Ben Wall's not going to be part of their future, and probably Neshek won't either. So it's a learning experience, but sometimes can be very painful.
The 2-2 pitch. And DeYoung strikes out for the 4th time. The boos for Neris loud here at Citizens Bank Park. The reason why? A long home run by Tommy Pham. The Cardinal fans love it. It's 5-5. 106 miles an hour off the bat, 435 feet. So John Brebbia, his 2nd inning of work. It'll be Joseph, Franco, and Herrera. Remember, Rosenthal was up at one point, but then he sat. I did see Seung-Hwan Oh up and throwing in case the Cardinals took the lead.
But I like this, Dan. Brebbia just had a dominant inning. Tells you that Mike Matheny likes what he saw. You know, Mike has a tendency to only use relievers 1 inning, 1 inning, 1 inning, 1 inning. Well, you're going to get to a certain point where you're the same guys that pitch 2-3 days in a row, and then you're not left with any of your late inning guys. So he threw very few pitches, 9 pitches in the first inning. Let him go back out there.
Off the end of the bat, Brebbia steps and throws and makes the play. So that's 4 up and 4 down.
Now you'll get Cecil up for if you get a left-hander in a certain situation. You get the righty Franco right here. Then you got Herrera, who hits from the left side. I mean, if he gets Franco out here right now, I mean, can't argue, but he's done a great job.
And a slider and a strike.
He spent too much time in minor leagues and independent baseball that he's not going to let this situation get away from him.
Into center and a base hit.
Now you might have to think about it with the lefty coming up.
So the lefty Herrera will face Brett Cecil. This is our Chevy call to the pen. His 35th appearance. Jim Hayes had a nice visit with Brett on the pregame show. Things are starting to turn around, hopefully for the better and hopefully for a while for Brett.
Yeah, they really have. They've had 6 shutout inning streak. You know, you saw the lefties have still got a high average against them, but at one time they were hitting well over 500.
Odubel Herrera with 2 hits in this game. Also a stolen base. Runner at first is Michael Franco. (5-5) our score here in the bottom of the 9th. Rather interesting in this game. Remember, the Cardinals double switched Stephen Piscotty out. And so if you get to him in the 10th, that would be your pitcher's spot. Here's a 1-0.
And now you got Martinez in that. He'll lead off the 10th inning when we get there. As I said, we're going to extra innings.
Cecil had the 1-2-3 7th inning last night. That was his 12th scoreless outing in his last 13 appearances.
Right. So, I mean, he's 6 straight, but he had 6 straight before giving up or having one outing that scored.
The 2-1 pitch. Slowly hit up the first base line and foul.
Take that anytime, right? 12 out of 13 games,
sure,
scoreless.
But this was the idea too. You could use him in high leverage situations.
This is what he's accustomed to. He's 5th in the National League in inherited runners. Runner at first is his 24th that he's inherited this year. Herrera's never hit off him.
Three and 2. 1 out. Pete McCannon want to be aggressive here. Start his runner.
He hasn't attempted to steal this year.
Not running, hit sharply to third, and with that could be 2. But not with the speed of Herrera. Boy, does he get down the line.
That tells you how quick he gets, because that was a rocket off his bat. And he is quick. Good positioning. Right there. No right-hander warming up, because your next 2 batters are Galvis and Knapp, and they both are switch hitters that hit better from the left side than the right.
Now, if you think about running, this would be certainly one of the candidates. Herrera's stolen base back in the 3rd.
But Dan, that was just his 5th in 9 attempts, so he's got great speed, but hasn't learned yet how to use that as a base stealer.
If we get to extra innings, I would think the Cardinals, if Neshek is not pitching tonight. Remember how delicate the Cardinals had to be with him in years past, but the Phillies have talked about the same thing with him. The Cardinals still would have Rosenthal and O potentially for extra innings. You might be in better shape.
Yeah, I think you are. You know, they've already used their closer. They used their one setup man. And as you said, with Neshek not, and there's a right-hander standing around the bullpen ready would be their next pitcher, and it's not Neshek. So probably would have to go to him as a last resort. But trying to keep him off limits today.
That's a fair ball. Off the sidewall. Van will have to barehand it back in quickly. They send him, and Tommy has another outfield assist.
They didn't send him. He ran through.
This is all about Tommy Pham here tonight. 2 home runs. His second runner that he's nailed at the plate, and the Phillies run themselves right out of the inning. Never took anything for granted.
Look at
a strike to the plate. Both at the plate. So here is the play. Tommy Pham playing it off the sidewall, barehands it here. Never took it for granted that Herrera would stop, and thank goodness he did for the Cardinals' sake. As Herrera was gunned down, and here's what you're talking about, Al. He went right through Juan Samuel's side.
He actually ran around him, which he's dead out, and he was so rewarded that he's been taken out of this game. Nava's now in left field, and Altair moves to center field, and Perkins, who started in left, is over in right now.
Jose Martinez with a solo home run, part of a double switch, and that was in the 8th inning. That pulled the Cardinals to within 1.
So Ramos now pitching.
And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Remember, Ramos had issues finding the plate last night.
Yeah, he walked the first 2 men and the only men he faced, and he was out of there.
And a fastball at 95. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Jose Martinez. And there's a drive out to deep right center field, and it's off the very top of the wall. Martinez on his way to second base. And the go-ahead and potential winning run now in scoring position for the Cardinals.
Boy, if he didn't missed it by, what, 2 or 3 feet?
So Martinez, the home run, and now the double off the very top of the wall.
Good thing they left him in this ball game. Hit the home run as a pinch hitter here, stays in the game and hits right on the top of the scoreboard out there. So a leadoff double. And now you've got your best 2 RBI men coming up.
Here's Carpenter. And the first pitch to him. Cardinals have never had a lead in this game. They trailed 5-0. They've come back with 4 home runs. 2 by Tommy Pham, 2-run shot by Jerko, and also the home run by Martinez.
Bach.
And so with that, Martinez goes to third. And things unraveling here for the Phillies.
Watch him right there. So he starts to constitute starting his windup. Just that little flinch. He started to bring the right hand up. So they're explaining it to him just ever so slightly, but that's the start of your windup. And you stop, and it's a balk.
And so now the Phillies with the infield in. This spot, Carpenter, 8 out of 13 times, has brought that runner home. You've got him in, and you also have a shift. Hit into the shift back in the 8th with a rocket. Here's a 1-0.
3 on the infield, but on the right side. Like, you know, you're looking for a fly ball at the very least. And Martinez, for a big man, does run fairly well.
The 2-0 pitch. 2-1.
Now, Ramos has strikeout ability. He's averaging almost 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. 36 strikeouts and 29 2/3. Almost 10 strikeouts per 9 in his career.
And the 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Again, the Phillies have dropped 12 of their last 13. The bullpen ERA is near 7. And it's on the rise after tonight, after a terrific start from Nick Pivetta, in which he struck out 10 in 6 innings. The 2-2. Carpenter strikes out.
I knew it. Ramos also has been very good at stranding inherited runners. 82.8 have been stranded. There you see. And when you got a rebuilding team and they're going to intentionally pass Fowler to set up the double play, it just seems like to me one of the most important things that you need is a good bullpen. So every time you have a lead, you can keep that in the win column.
And again, I go back to the point, though, you don't have Neshek tonight. And if Neshek is pitching in the 8th, we might be back to the team hotel.
They had the off day on Monday, but we're kind of told that, you know, he has some certain ways he wants to be used, and you don't always have that luxury.
So now it's Aledmys Diaz, and they throw it away, and the Cardinals take the lead. A balk, an error. Fowler on his way to third. As that ball looked to be touched by a fan. And so with that, Martinez does score. Fowler will go back to second base. A balk, and now an error, and Ramos can only blame himself.
Just made that fatal mistake, and he's going to take him out after last night facing 2 batters and walking both of them. Now he just, you know, went to turn and then tried to ease the throw over to first, and the ball just took off on him.
You'll hear the boos as we head to break. Oh, maybe losing this game. Trying to score was Herrera, running through his sign and thrown out by Tommy Pham. The easy tag, and then this is a balk as Jose Martinez takes third, and Ramos on a pickoff of Dexter Fowler threw it away. Martinez would score, and the Cardinals, it's taken them 10 innings, have their first lead of the night.
You want to be a major league manager, huh? Adam Morgan comes in here. He was recalled from AAA when Benoit went on the disabled list on June the 3rd. It's the 4th different stint with the Phillies this year. He's allowed 6 home runs in 6 appearances, 4 home runs in 1 game. He also struck out the side on 12 pitches earlier this month.
So 1 out runner at second. And here's Aledmys Diaz pinch hitting for Brett Cecil. Diaz did not start tonight. And a fly ball lifted out to right field off the bat of Diaz. Fowler stays put at second base. So the Cardinals, as we mentioned earlier, set up for extra innings, and this spot right now is Seung-Hwan Oh is getting loose in the pen. Here's Jed Jerko.
Big night for Jed. Got the first 2 hits for the Cardinals. Cardinals only had 2 hits until going into the 5th inning. Tommy Pham hit his first of 2 home runs. 2 home runs and nailed 2 runners trying to score at home plate.
The Cardinals in this game, 16 strikeouts in their lineup. Defensively committed 3 errors. Michael Wacha gave up 5 runs, only 2 were earned, and yet they have a chance to potentially win this game.
But this way they should win it now.
Remember, O did pitch last night, but only 8 pitches. Jerko had the 2-out, 2-run homer back in the 6th. Three-hit night. And the 2-0. 3-0. On deck, Yadier Molina, who is hitless in 4 plate appearances. So the intentional walk after falling behind 3-0. Second intentional walk in this inning. And we'll see if Yadi can't make them pay. That young lady had a rally cap on since the first inning.
I was going to say it was in
now
the
it's
first
turned
inning.
around.
We'll still want to see a little offense. I want to see Yadi get another home run, make it 4 to 8 games in a row. Adam Morgan last year with the Phillies was 2-11. He had lost 9 big league games in a row at one point.
Here's an 0-1 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. So for the second consecutive night, an extra inning affair between the Cardinals and the Phillies. Tough to win those games, especially on the road. The 1-1. Yadi serves it into right field. That ball drops in for a hit. Here comes Fowler. The throw to the plate is not in time. Fowler scores, and the Cardinals have a 7-5 lead.
Nice going, Yadi.
9-game hitting streak for Yadier Molina.
Dexter and Jerko with 2 outs. They get a good read on that. I mean, they're going to go on contact. Jerko goes all the way to third. Dexter comes on home with an insurance run. Don't stop now. Perkins now in right field. You know, if Altair was still in right field, it might have been a much closer play.
Here's Tommy Pham. What a game he's had. Tommy Pham, a solo home run in the 9th, and that tied it up. Also a solo home run in inning number 5. 2 outfield assists to get runners at the plate tonight. Runners at the corners and the 0-1. Instead of check on Molina, who had maybe a half-foot lead.
Hey, come on now, he's second to Pham in steals.
Budweiser player of the game, Tommy Pham.
Have to go talk to him again today or tomorrow.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Pham.
He hasn't hit a home run. He struck out twice, both times looking. But talking about hitting this afternoon before the game, and just said, I just want to keep my good line drive approach, hit the ball hard, and home runs will happen.
In the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's a check on the runner again. Molina not going anywhere.
How crazy. That's why I say that, when a young ball club, you've got to have a good closer, close out victories. And all of a sudden, fielders say, why should we get a lead? Just going to have it dissolve in front of us.
Inside corner, and Pham strikes out. Cardinals strand 2. Jose Martinez starts the rally for St. Louis with a double off the top of the wall. A balk. He winds up at third, scores on an error on a pickoff. But he hits for the Cardinals. 5th inning, Tommy Pham. This solo home run. And for the Cardinals, they got them on the board. 6th inning, 2-out, 2-run shot by Jed Jerko. Clears the wall in right. 8th inning, off the bench. First pitch by Benoit. And a home run by Martinez. Cardinals within 1. Then in the 9th inning, Tommy Pham, his 2nd home run of the game. He's also thrown out 2 base runners at the plate. 10th inning. An error leads to Martinez scoring. And then after that, it was Molina and a base hit. 5 consecutive games with 3 or more home runs. Second most, tied for second most in Major League history.
Chevy called the bullpen, brings the Cardinal closer in with a 2-run margin. His 30th appearance. He's saved 15 out of 17. The slider has not been as consistent as a year ago, and I think overall he's not executing, making pitches like he did a year ago, but still, Stone Buddha is very comfortable in these situations.
1 ball and 1 strike
And
on Andrew Knapp.
And with bullpen, used 5 innings last night in extra innings, and then 5 innings again, or more than that now. 6 innings today, the bullpen. And you're going to reach a point where we have no off days until the All-Star break. It's going to be a real juggling mix to keep our relievers, rested.
2-2.
O does a job here, and then you've got the possibility of maybe getting him a day off and then use Rosenthal as your closer tomorrow. Well, hopefully with Martinez, you don't need anybody from the bullpen.
2-2 pitch. In the dirt. Count runs full. And the 3-2. That's well hit out to deep right field, and it is off the top of the wall. Martinez plays it perfectly and holds Knapp to a long single.
Okay, we're going to have a little fun today, aren't we? But look at how high this one is. That was just by inches. Not going out. Good thing the insurance run. Now the tying run is represented at the plate.
Daniel Nava will be the batter. Nava's been a very good pinch hitter this year for the Phillies. Made the start in left field last night. Broken bat, slowly hit. Garcia gets the shore out. That home run was actually above the railing. They have plexiglass above that to protect the fans. Right there. That's where that ball hit.
I kind of wonder about the rules here. Does it have to go clearly into the stands, or goes over the piping? Find out for the ground rules on that one tomorrow.
So 1 out. And a slider taken low. Cam Perkins is grounded out to short, struck out 3 times, and picked up his first major league hit back in inning number 2. Here's a 1-0. The bullpen, a big story in this series for the Cardinals. Game 1, 5 innings. No runs so far tonight, 5 1/3 and no runs.
They've sure done the job. And once again, Tyler Lyons, his 3 shutout innings, allowed the offense to come back in the game. Revia goes an inning in the 3rd. Cecil gets the final 2 outs. He'd stand to be the winner if O can pick up the save. I think we have the right man for Carlos Martinez tomorrow with a tired bullpen.
And the 3-1 pitch. Out to shallow right field. This ball will drop and a run will score. The tying run is at first base. The winning run comes to the plate. Remember, it's a new outfield for the Cardinals as they play here in the 10th. Martinez in right, Pham in center, and Aledmys Diaz is in left field.
Perkins has got his first 2 major league hits and now his first RBI.
Anxious moments for these Cardinal fans.
They walked by Yachty out to talk to O.
Sometimes you can tell if a pitcher is not right, just even how Molina receives the baseball. And a couple of times you can tell he's been a little frustrated with some of these pitches from O. By the way, the ground rules on that ball that was hit off the plexiglass, that is in play.
I'm sure it would be. And have to reach the seats.
And one of the hottest hitters now for the Phillies in Howie Kendrick. On base 4 times tonight, 3 singles and a walk.
Small sample size, but 1 for 2 off of O.
Oh, would love the double play and send us home. Here's a 1-0. Dexter Fowler had to leave the game tonight, we're told, because of left quad tightness.
Soon when he scored at home, right?
Well, you can just see, not very sharp right now and trying to gut his way, pick up a Cardinal win.
Louis out there.
And Rosenthal up for the second time.
Dean interpreting. Well, he just didn't like to see that either. Having to get Rosie up the second time. But like you said, Dan, one pitch and you can get out of this. Kendrick, 3 for 4, on base 4 times, 3 singles and a walk. But he did make a out his last time.
The 2-0. 2 balls and 1 strike.
He's been in this situation hundreds and hundreds of times.
Two and two.
Slider had a little bite to it.
The 2-2. Softly hit towards second. Out there, and no throw by DeYoung, and now there's 2 away.
And hit it hard enough to turn 2, so they get the lead runner.
Research and many of the things that we look up takes you back to 1913. The Cardinals in their history have 1 win in which they've had 15 or more strikeouts and 3 errors committed. That was in 2012.
It's funny how so many things like that when you go back to 2000 or 1913 or 15, whatever you said, and then you find it was only a couple of years ago.
The idea is it doesn't happen very often.
No, but strikeouts are so much more prevalent now.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Altair. Leads their club in home runs with 12. He has a base hit tonight, an RBI, and a run scored. The 1-1.
Started play today, tied with Pittsburgh for 3rd place, 4 games back. Cubs lost. Pittsburgh is winning at Milwaukee 3-1. That's in the bottom of the 7th.
2 balls and a strike. And the Cardinals 1 strike away. The 2-2. He got him. Struck him out, and the Cardinals win it 7-6 in 10. They were down 5-0. They tie it up in the 9th, and a huge night. The Tommy Pham show here in Philly.
All right, good team moral victory right here. Good pitching from the bullpen. Just a good win. As the Cardinals never quit. They kept on coming back. They could be as few as 3 games back by the end of this game, or the end of Milwaukee-Pittsburgh game.
The fans love it. The Cardinals hold on in a wild one. 7-6, the final in 10.